Earthling, what happened when you left the studio last week?
Holy shit. What happened? So naturally we're wasted, right? And
we're talking about
last week's show.
Let's clue
Okay,
people
okay.
in. Let's clue people in. We clean up the studio when we leave.
It takes like an hour.
A bunch of shit we got to do. We got to take out the garbage stuff. It's not
do the dishes. So we come in here and say fuck, and then we go out there and do dishes.
Yeah, it's not like being radio stars yet. Not yet, but we leave the studio and pretty wasted, and Earthling is driving home drunk. And what happened?
Okay, so I don't really know about the first part. I don't know if I got lost because I don't remember even where I ended up.
Yeah.
So I got lost or I got tired. I was tired. I worked that morning. You know what I mean?
So, you were the kind of drunk that even people who drive drunk usually don't drive that
No,
drunk.
I couldn't do it. Yeah, I pulled over because I was fucking shit tired, right? Don't know where, but I just so happened to pick a place that was in front of a guard shack to $1 Million Homes.
Right.
Right in front of the guard shack.
That's a really
Fuck
good spot.
you.
Yeah.
So then I get waken up by a police officer. Waking up. I'm awoken by a police officer who says, "What are you doing here?" I said, I got diabetes. I just blurted it out. I got and it's like the first thing that came out.
Yeah.
Right? So then I was like, man, I was drunk for sure, wasted. He's like, you smell like booze. I was like, I was drinking last night, but I'm going to.
So you told him you were in diabetic shock.
Yeah, I said I got diabetic shock. I'm going to work, but I had to pull over because it happens sometimes.
Right.
And so, and then I says to him, I know you're liable to call the ambulance, but I'll be fine if you just leave me here for a little bit. I know how this works, So he's like, oh well, and that was my Jedi. I'm a Jedi.
So you made him have to call the ambulance.
Called the ambulance.
What time? This was like 5:15 in the morning.
Yeah,
or like 5:30.
4:30, 5.
No. It was past 5. It was past 5.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't even fucking know your own story.
No. Okay.
It was past 5.
Well, that's because I called your phone.
I have a record of this incident.
So I'm fucked pretty much because I'm drunk,
Yeah.
and I'm in a car, and I guess they don't like that kind of shit. But so the ambulance gets there, and for some reason he lets me get into the ambulance and stays outside.
So now you're in the ambulance with who?
With 3 EMTs, 2 dudes. One of them's young, one of them's a little older, all white, and one of them's a chick. So they're like, "What's going on with you?" And I leaned in, said, "Listen." I said, "Listen, guys. I don't have diabetes, and I'm wasted drunk. And this is going to change, this is going to ruin my fucking life. I need you guys."
All right. Sorry.
So I was like, this is
timing.
going to ruin my fucking life. You guys got to tell him I got diabetes and I'm in diabetic shock. And they were all like, I don't. I was like, you have to do this, or else I'm done. I'm fucking done.
So at first they weren't down with it.
No, not really.
And
then I looked at, I was kind of like looking at the girl, like, put on my charm and shit. I think she's the one that actually did it. Because she's like, all right. And she grabbed the thing and did the blood. And she's like, oh, yeah, this guy's in diabetic shock when the cop came back in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got some EMTs to lie to a cop for me by begging them.
I don't know what that was supposed to be.
It was fucking scary.
I'm just getting my sound effects pulled up here, getting oriented.
And when I was in the ambulance, I had my cell phone with me because he didn't take my cell phone yet because it was a medical thing rather than, a criminal thing or whatever. Yeah. So I called all my friends, like, somebody needs to come pick me up now. I did it all. It all happened within like 5 minutes.
So
I put this together.
The EMTs lied to the cop for you.
Yeah. Hell yeah. No, I'm not even going to say which town, but hell yeah.
Don't even say which
town. Those EMTs are the shit. But they really did lie for me, and I really was wasted and breaking the law a lot.
Anything you'd like to say to them?
Thanks. A lot. I think they knew, though. They knew I was like, oh, God, please. I was like, you guys have to do this. You know what I mean? And then the cop opened the door. Like, when he opened the door to come back in, he's like, what's going on? What's going on in here? And I just kind of like,
what was his attitude? Was he like trying to keep an eye on you? Was he like suspicious, or was he more like,
he was super suspicious because he even said,
like,
you smell like booze, you're drunk,
Yeah.
But no, he wanted to get out of there. He didn't. Some other cop. I saw 3 other cop cars come after I got out of the ambulance. I was like, fuck, here we go. But then they just left, and the other one cop just stayed, and I don't know.
So the backup was there and everything, and you still fucking got away with
The
it somehow?
backup started yelling at me, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go over here and smoke a cigarette." And then I started like walking on the curb, like back and forth, talking on the phone to the person who was picking me up, perfectly, of course, you know,
Demonstrating your dexterity.
yeah,
and-
without having being forced. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Right,
it worked.
yeah.
Oh, dude, these are not the droids you're looking for, type shit, dude.
Well, cops are not the smartest bunch.
Fuck those dumbass pigs, dude. I fucking schooled their fucking bitch asses.
Or are you sure maybe it wasn't that they were nice to you?
I wasn't pity, no way, because that guy wanted to
You don't
hurt
think
me.
so?
He wanted to hurt me bad. They all wanted
That's
to
when
hurt
something
everybody.
nice happens. I
I just used some sort of loophole in the law to get the EMTs there somehow.
And they really said, and they said, all right, we tested his blood and he's diabetic.
They
and
said,
he's in shock.
he's
And
really bad. He's in shock
So
right
then
now.
they must have had it. Well, we're going to give him.
You know what? I could have been in diabetic
What do you need
shock.
when you're
I
in
don't
diabetic
know.
shock?
I
Do you
don't
need
have diagnosis?
Do you need sugar
I don't know.
or insulin?
I think it's insulin.
Whatever. So, anyways, these guys obviously saved your fucking life.
They saved my entire life, or at least the next 8 years,
Yeah, and a good 10, 15,000 bucks.
guaranteed.
And then the cops were just like, all right, well, I guess he's in diabetic shock, and they fucking let you. That was it.
Well, I told him. I said, listen, I called my boss. He's gonna be picking me up. Yeah, and you know, it happens all the time. He knows the drill. He's gonna come pick me up. You know, because I'm on my way to work. You know, which I wasn't. I was on my way to drive drunk places.
Right.
And so he was like, "Oh, I'll wait. How long?" And I was like, "He'll be here in 5 minutes," because I already called him 20 minutes before that in the ambulance. Like, you need to get here now. You know what I mean?
So really, this was like the perfect. This is the perfect chain of events to lead to your escape. I mean,
It's the only thing that could have happened.
you
that
were painted into a corner pretty bad.
It was the
and,
worst.
And you somehow got out of that. What's going on over there?
Diabetic shock is too much insulin, not enough sugar. It's basically
Okay.
a sugar crash.
So how did anyone believe that? Like, did they give you any sugar or like?
No. They just took my blood and my blood pressure. They took my blood and put it in the machine for, you know.
Yeah, but like, how were the cops that dumb? It sounds like they
I
must have
didn't
just
underst-
taken pity on you.
I know. I didn't understand why the cops let me in the ambulance without their presence. That's where they fucked up. That was their one flaw. If they would monitored the whole situation, I'd be in prison,
Like they want you.
like they want me to.
I
I mean, are we done talking about that? I mean, on a lighter note, I ate bison today.
Are we done with your story? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I
That's
keep
a really-
forgetting and remembering things about it. I really did pick the wrong place to park.
Well, yeah, you were in a rich suburb.
No, it was a gated community with a guard shack with like 2 guards in it, and I guess I just pulled up right
so they
there.
called the cops immediately. They must have.
They probably thought I was sitting there. I don't know.
I'm sure they saw you pull up.
I didn't have memory till cop.
Right.
Like everything before that is nothing. Is gone.
Well,
Cop.
from what I remember of the time frame, you sent me a text that you were pulses over, which I guess meant pulled over.
Yeah.
And that was about 5:40 or something.
Oh, God.
And we didn't leave here till 5 o'clock ish. So
It must have been almost immediate.
they
then.
called the cops immediately.
Immediately called the cops.
Because you probably sent me that text after you were already in the
No,
ambulance. and
it wasn't.
everything.
You know, the funny part is that I didn't just call the person who picked me up. I called everybody I fucking knew. First person here wins. You know what I mean? Like, just so I'd call every. So not
So
only.
you really did that thing where you leveled with the EMTs and you said, "Look,
Yeah.
guys, I'm wasted.
Look, I'm wasted. I'm
Hey, if
fucking
you guys
don't have
wanna-
diabetes. Don't even try it. I mean,
If you want to call in and talk to the luckiest man in the world, 630-599-7827, 630-599-7827. Call the Sunday Evening Overdose.
so let me
Wait,
finish
Sunday
this
Evening
up.
Overdose at gmail.com too. You can send us whatever you like to send us.
Send us stuff.
Send us shit.
Okay, let me say. So I had called everybody just so I had a lot of outs. I needed more outs, right? So the
you just
next
started calling everyone in your phone,
every
like,
single
yeah.
person. Nate answered like that. Even after he answered and says I'm on my way, I still called everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I needed outs. You know. So then the next day I had to explain to everybody I know why I was calling them at 5 a.m. So fucking, you know what I'm saying? So I had to tell this
You had to
fucking
tell the
story.
fucking
Like,
shit story,
That's why
yeah.
it's kind of lame to me now, but you know what I mean?
Well, so the story is interesting because it starts out with you being the dumbest, least slick person
Ever
in the world, and then it ends with you being like somehow you're like a Russian spy that gets caught, you know, and you have some perfect way out of it, you know. It's
Well, like for every
it's
action,
bizarre.
there's an equal reaction. So I
But
did
how could you
something
be-
so fucking stupid, and then I had to.
You had to account
I had
for
to,
it, yeah.
yeah,
you
make
or you
up
had to
for
make
it.
up for it, yeah.
And no, I couldn't believe it either. Honestly.
That's fucking amazing.